Hello, this is Mayor Deirdre Waterman, Pontiac Mayor, and I'm here with some guests to make an exciting announcement of COVID-19 relief funds announced for small businesses here in Pontiac. I hope everybody is safe and well, and I will read from an announcement that just came out today that we're happy to share with you, exciting news for Pontiac businesses. I wanted to provide an update for small businesses in our community. A group called the Pontiac Funders Collaborative has been working in close partnership with local government and nonprofit organizations to support a collective plan to help strengthen Pontiac's ability to thrive and to support its small businesses. As you are keenly aware, small businesses across the country have been significantly impacted by the COVID-19 crisis. Pontiac is no different. In recognition of this, today, the Pontiac Funders Collaborative, a group of business and foundations, is announcing the launch of a small business relief fund for small businesses in Pontiac. This program will focus on the smallest of businesses with 10 employees or less, and up to 100 small businesses in Pontiac will receive grants, 100 small businesses. These grants will be up to $2,500 for home-based businesses and up to $5,000 for brick and mortar businesses. The group will also provide technical assistance to assist businesses in completing the application process and connecting them to other community supports. Grant applications will be open on Monday, May 18th, that's this next Monday coming up, and questions can be answered on the website, which is cfsem.org/Pontiac-business-relief. This will be also putting on this announcement as well as on the city website and our other social networking platforms. The goal of this initiative is to get money in small business hands in the coming weeks. The group of funders also recently made emergency grants of $150,000 to key nonprofit organizations when COVID hit, which allowed them to provide health and human services to those in need in our community. In the longer term, this group will continue working with community leaders to do more for Pontiac, including around workforce development, entrepreneurship, public spaces, and supporting our nonprofits. So many people are stepping up to help Pontiac residents at this difficult time. And I want you to know how refreshing it is that these larger businesses and foundations care about our community. I hope many of you with small businesses will consider applying for these much needed grants from the Pontiac Funders Collaborative. So that's an announcement we wanted to get out right away because, as you see, this is very timely and because it benefits a group that has maybe left out of some of the other grant funding that has come in recent weeks and the last couple months since we've been dealing with this emergency. We announced that the Oakland County grant awards that were given to 22 businesses in Pontiac, and there's another $12 million that will be awarded to that fund, so other small businesses in Pontiac can benefit as well. In addition to the fact that we continue to have those business teleconferences, give out the information about the other grant and loan programs that are available for COVID relief through the federal government acts. But today, I want to talk about this particular announcement. We wanted to get this out as soon as possible because you see the dates are coming up very soon. So we wanted to put that in the hands of people who much needed it and much deserve it here in Pontiac. So with me today, I want to introduce Freya Harris, newly come to the Pontiac Funders Collaborative through the Community Foundation of Southeast Michigan. And she's here to explain even more of this item, which is hot off the press. They want to get this money in the hands of small businesses who need it in Pontiac. And she's here to tell us more about this program. So Freya, can I introduce you now? And we'll show you on the screen so that people can see your smiling face. 9 days in your job here, and already you are announcing some big money and some big benefits for the citizens of Pontiac. Could you tell us first a little bit more about this Pontiac Funders Collaborative and how that's involved in bringing this initiative to help our small businesses?
Yes, thank you, Mayor Waterman. I'm honored to serve the community of Pontiac as the project director of the Pontiac Funders Collaborative. And you're right, it is day 9, and there's already been a lot of communication and conversations. And really, it's 2 years in the making of the funders and the community residents and institutions coming together and just talking about what makes sense for the community from their perspective. These initial grants are in response to COVID-19, small business development, and nonprofit capacity building demonstrate the commitment of the funders to working with the community to address some immediate needs and as well as, most importantly, achieving long-term collective impact. All of these collaborative efforts will be decided and guided and sustained by Pontiac residents and its leaders. This is truly about ensuring that the community owns this, has a vested interest, and is able to move this forward through its own hard, diligence and determination. My role is truly just to assist more as a project manager and a communication vehicle to make sure that there is communication that's moving within the community, but also between the community and the foundations that have interest in supporting these efforts. And this will happen over a term of 3 years for my position to help in that way. But the ultimate goal is for existing Pontiac institutions to continue to support this journey. It really is about really lifting up the great work that is already happening within Pontiac and just helping people to work better together. And I think even now in these very uncertain terms, we are experiencing things that we just never expected. The continuation of this initiative is, in my mind, evidence of the commitment of the community residents as well as the funders to ensuring the health of Pontiac and seeing it thrive in the future.
Yes, and tell us why you focus particularly on this micro enterprise group, the businesses with 10 or less employees, why you felt there was a need particularly for this group. We know that there has been other funding for other groups of 50 or less or up to 2,500 employees. But this is a group that had not been touched so well by these other grant relief funds. So tell us a little bit about why you're doing this and aiming it at this particular group.
Well, pretty much exactly how you described. It's a group that just does not get the same level of attention. When you have less than 10 employees, it's very easy to be under the radar, to be considered by some as too small or not far enough along. A lot of reasons that people unintentionally don't notice that not all businesses are going to rise to the level of hundreds. There are businesses that will only be family run. There are businesses that is the best for them and it serves the needs of the community. And that should be supported with in the same ways as larger businesses have been in the past. I think also the uniqueness of neighborhood businesses in Pontiac is another reason why it makes sense to offer funding to these sorts of businesses. They have been the staple. They are the ones that stay the course, and we really want them after all going through to still be available for people to frequent and for these businesses to continue to grow.
Yes, and you mentioned a very important fact that Pontiac is proud of the fact that we're bringing in some of the giants now, industries that had not been in Pontiac before. And that has been much newsworthy. For example, Amazon, which is building right here now in Pontiac, and United Shore, which is started with 2,500 employees, now is about 5,000. And Williams International, which is a defense industry contractor. So a lot of attention is paid to those and they make the news. But Pontiac, really, the backbone of our business economic development is through our smaller businesses. That's 51% of our predicted economic development growth over the coming years. So particularly those that are under 10 that need to be nurtured and are especially hard hit and don't have the capital reserves of some of the larger businesses. And we want them to thrive and be supported. So that's why this is so important. Now, I know that I'm going to be introducing Deputy Mayor and our planning manager. And while they think of, I know they have some questions they want to ask you too, to have you highlight. But while they're doing that, one of the things that was also important about your grant offering that you announced was that you're also offering wraparound services and technical assistance. And that sometimes is very helpful for the smaller businesses that don't have that kind of wraparound reserve help. And so they've been left out of some of the other application processes that have been so complex for them and didn't have the resources to do that in the short time sometimes allowed for that. So can you tell us a little bit more about what is available to you in terms of this technical assistance and why that small business owners who previously had shied away from some of the other grant programs should still look into this and how you want to be helpful?
Yes, the technical assistance is truly going to be an opportunity for anyone who's interested in applying to ask all of the questions that they could imagine. There is no question too small, no question that anyone will assume is not worthwhile. We want to make sure that all of the applicants have the same level of support. They will come into this in varying ways and with varying backgrounds. Some may have applied for applications before, others, this is the very first time. But regardless of how they're entering, we want them all to be able to produce a application that clearly describes who they are as a business, that makes them shine, that it really speaks to what they want to continue doing within the community, and that should not be hindered by the fact that they may have never applied before.
That's such good news because I know some people had been discouraged, some of our smaller businesses, as some of these other programs opened up before they had a chance to really get their foot in the door. They were already closed, and some of them ran out of money from all the groups who needed that money and sought after it. So this is specifically reserved for all of you smaller businesses out there, 10 or less employees who need COVID relief help to sustain your businesses during this downturn. And believe me, so many people are affected by this. We are here to serve the population of Pontiac, and we realize that not one of us is not impacted in some way by this crisis. And so we're just so happy for all the groups who have stepped up to offer that support. And this is why we wanted to get this announcement out so quickly. And with that, I'm going to turn to our Deputy Mayor, whom many of you know, Jane Bias DeSesta. Jane, we'd like to see you on camera. Okay.
Doing good. Thank you. It's so good to see you. And it's so wonderful to meet you, Freya. Congratulations. And as I said earlier, it's an honor to meet you. You know, the mayor has so eloquently already explained, you know, we have a lot of small businesses in our city. I guess my question to you would be, does it make a difference if they've started? I mean, I'm familiar with one company in particular, and they just started maybe perhaps a few months ago, and they have a wonderful product that they want to get out to our citizens, but yet all of a sudden they got caught in this COVID crisis. Or would they be eligible to apply as well?
Yes. Any business, if they have established themselves to some degree
yes.
and are recognized as a business, then they should be applying. There is nothing to lose, honestly, but maybe a little bit of time doing the application. Otherwise, there is much to gain. So it is worth their time just to go ahead and put it out there and say where things had progressed and where they want to be, and let's see what we can do for them.
Excellent. And thank you so much. I know there's a few that just started and all of a sudden, you know, the COVID happened, the pandemic happened, and oh my, this is wonderful. Thank you so much. Mayor, I'll turn it back to you.
Yes, I know a new restaurant in Pontiac that was due to open April the 4th, just in the midst of the worst part of this crisis. So what a worst time. But they persevered and they decided to open given the limitations of the curbside service because they had been all set. And one of the ways we're also trying to support, particularly our restaurant industry in town, because so many of the restaurant businesses have been foundering from that lack of business support and patronage, that we have supported them by a program that we have also that has donors who want to contribute to helping to feed our first responders and our essential workers. So this is a program that we call, that's run by the executive office here, the Spirit of Pontiac Initiative. And we've had a number of donors now who we've connected with the restaurants that still want to have business and may have supplied the meals. And then we connect them with either shifts at the sheriff's deputies substation or the firehouse or either hospitals in town. And these have been well received. So it's a win-win situation for all involved. And just as another way of expressing that thanks to our first responders and our essential workers for making the rest of it possible for us as they continue. While some of us are working remotely and some of us are just trying to get through the best way we can in this crisis. Another person who I'm here with our staff is our planning manager, who has been much affected by that, and his staff has been working so rigorously even through this emergency, and that's Vern Gustafson. And Vern, you may have a comment or a question you'd like to ask too on behalf of our businesses. Yes.
Very good. Thank you, Mayor, and pleasure meeting you, Ms. Harris. It's not so much a question, it's just more of a comment that I would like to state that between your organization and what you're doing, plus the business owners that you're going to be helping, just let you know that the city is open for business in regards to, if you have any questions in regards to from a planning, development, and permitting and licensing standpoint, we'll be more than happy to help those businesses kind of go through the regulations as it relates to those aspects of it. And we're here to support you and support our business community. And I just want to thank you very much for this great opportunity in this initiative. Now we're turning back to the mayor and let you
continue. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vern and Jane. In addition to this, I want to say that anybody who has seen this and knows somebody who can benefit from it, this PSA, public service announcement, will also be on the city website, on the city Facebook page, as well as the city YouTube channel, and we'll link to a number of the Facebook page partners that we have. So we want this message to get out as widely as possible. So those of you who can benefit from it will be free to apply and know that this opportunity is there. The dates are coming up very soon, and there's a short window to apply. So Freya, would you say that once again to emphasize that people who are interested in this need to get on it right away?
Yes. So please, I'm checking my notes here, but make sure that on May 8th is when the application becomes available. So immediately go to the Community Foundation of Southeast Michigan's website to access that application. If you have any trouble with even accessing the application, our consultants' information is also available on the website so that you can reach out to them immediately and get those challenges taken care of as well. Please don't let anything about this process deter you from applying if it is something that you seek to do. There is about a 2-week window of time. Yes, it's the 28th that the application for the application deadline. So please make sure to ask questions. Definitely complete the application if it's something that you're seeking for your business, and we are here to support you.
Yes, and please, please don't fail to avail yourself of this opportunity, and don't be remiss or thinking that you're the only one in this by yourself. We're not. We're all in this together. And as I said, there's not one person who has not been impacted in some way or the other by this crisis. And we have to realize that we're here to serve you as your mayor, and all the staff here are the same. We also have our hotline number available in the city, and our staff is ready to answer questions about this or other matters that you may have questions about. Don't feel hesitant to reach out to us. Our hotline number is 248-758-3300. So with that, we have another announcement that came out today. We just had a special city council meeting on another front, and there is money that has been brought to the city through the CDBG, that's the federal block grant fund, under a particular part of the CARES Act. And under that, we will have $906,000 that we want to give out in relief funding. And we recommended to City Council that they approve a plan that we have to submit to the county that will allow us to put this money directly in the hands of needs that our everyday citizens have. And that's in the way of rent assistance, mortgage assistance, and utility payment assistance. So we'll have more about that. That is now going through the application process. But in the special meeting we had just for that purpose this morning, we wanted to let you know that the council and mayor are aligned in that. And we want to also get that program forward so that we can get that out to the hands of our citizens in Pontiac who so much need it. And with that, I'm going to say to you, I hope you stay well. And look forward to a future when we can all get to the next phase of this. We're already preparing at City Hall and our city buildings. We got all the buildings deep cleaned. We are putting up the plexiglass to make sure we follow the precautions. We're getting the PPE in hand. And once more, we're working assiduously from all our remote locations, except the essential workers. We'll continue to do so. We're here to serve you. Stay well, be happy, be safe. We'll get through this together and look over to the other side. Thank you all for being here, Freya. Thank you for being our special guest.